So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 76 of our F1 Manager Save. Now if you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch it. It was an absolute cracker in Catalonia. Lando Norris, he did make a few mistakes at the front because I think it were down to complacency, but he did manage to win. We had an epic battle with Max Verstappen and Mick Schumacher. Mick finally showing some promise. There were some questions after Imola whether Mick Schumacher in the comments should be the second driver here at Ferrari. We're on round 7, we're going to get to the halfway point, then we'll assess it from there. But Mick gave himself a much needed boost with a commanding P4 in Spain. Now, this is the Grand Prix that I want to win as team principal, and this is a Grand Prix that everybody wants to win. It's the jewel in the crown, it's Monaco, and 78 laps round here. We know the twists, the turns, the glitz, the glam, all of that, low speed and medium speed cornering, that's the most important here. Expect a strategy either medium or soft onto a hard compound tyre. One stop is optimal. Start on the hard compound tyre, possibility, but safety cars are very, very prominent around here. Just to bring you up to date on a few other things, car development wise, we have got a rear wing and side pods coming in at the moment. Side pods is more just more research. But rear wing is going to be a decent upgrade when that comes in. In terms of the standings at this moment in time, we did have a good points haul last time out in Spain. 39 points were gained. We are now only 16 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors. McLaren's up there too. We've got a three-way fight for the Constructors title, although if us and Red Bull keep going now, that may change to a two-man fight. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris is back on top, so he now leads by 20 points to Charles Leclerc. So Lando Norris doing very, very well indeed. We could win our first title here at Ferrari this season. Mick Schumacher, like I said, decent performance last time out. Don't write the young German off just yet. So I'm going to get through the qualifying and go and sit on a couple of yachts as well while we're doing the race weekend. And I'll see you in qualifying for the Monaco Grand Prix.
Cars have been racing through Monaco streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners, from the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ott. There are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Let the weekend begin!
Just a quick one in Q1, we are getting rain here in Monaco. We managed to get a couple of laps in. Schumacher got out, did very, very well indeed. Norris got stuck behind Danny Ricciardo on an outlap, which we weren't very impressed with at all. But we're still awaiting. Verstappen's on Inters at the moment. We expect him to get through, but there may be some shocks in Q1. Well guys, we come to the end of Q3 and the rain caught a few teams out, but one team it didn't catch out was Ferrari. Lando Norris is going to be on pole. These guys are now all out on intermediate tyres, and Lando Norris will start the Monaco Grand Prix from pole position. Mick Schumacher not had tons of pace all weekend, it must be said. We'll just fast forward through to the classifications, but Mick Schumacher will start in P5. Lando Norris top both Q2 and Q3. It's been a cracking weekend so far for Lando. I'm hoping it'll pay dividends and carry on into Sunday. And we have now got some flexibility on strategy as well. Max Verstappen all the way down in P9. This could be a massive weekend for Ferrari. Let's have a look at the strategies. Well guys, looking at it, I don't think there's any need to take any risks here this weekend. We've got the tyre compounds should we wish to use them, but both our drivers are going to be on the medium to hard compound strategy. Looking at it, 4 seconds quicker than the soft to hards, so I'm reckoning that's the way we go. It's a no-brainer. We're at the front. Let's just consolidate it. If we come in at P1 and P5, I'd be very happy. I think Mick Schumacher can gain some places as well. So big moments, but if Lando can push away at the start, break that DRS, it could be a lovely day for Lando as long as he keeps focused. Let's get to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix.
It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we are looking at Lando Norris, and to be fair, has got off the line beautifully. and straight away looking in command of this Grand Prix. The man we are looking at though is Mick Schumacher, who's lost a position early doors. He's got Guan Yu Zhou on his inside. They are side by side, going through Casino Square. Mick Schumacher keeping his nose in there. He doesn't want to lose a place, and Mick Schumacher doesn't lose a place. He's going to hold on to the back of Danny Ricciardo, and straight away after the first few corners, Lando Norris looking very, very good indeed. Already 4 attempts on Kevin Magnussen, 5 attempts now. As we look at this Leclerc and Verstappen. Verstappen's still in P9, not managed to make any moves at the start. 7th, 8th, 9th and 7th is a checkerboard of Red Bull and Aston Martin, but Lando Norris leading this first lap away. 5 tenths to Kevin Magnussen, who is on the soft compounder tyre. Esteban Ocon 7 tenths further back from K-Mike. These tyres from K-Mike are going to drop off. I'm not too concerned early doors in this race. If we can drop Ocon, I think we'll speed away quite lovely. Kevin Magnussen again though, we've said Mick Schumacher may be under a little bit of pressure. Kevin Magnussen is outperforming that Audi, and just look at where Alex Albon is. If we have a look at him now down in P15, he's massively outperforming that car. K-Mike, does he deserve a chance at a big team? We'll have to see, but not as we lead from to lap 2. It's Norris from Magnussen, Ocon P3, Ricciardo P4, Schumacher 5th, Zhou 6th, 7th for Leclerc, Gasly 8th, Verstappen 9th, and Carlos Sainz in P10. And by the end of lap 2, coming on to lap 3, Bono just telling Mick that DRS is enabled. Mick's going to get DRS. Lando Norris has absolutely bolted. We said to him, let's just use a bit of battery, Lando, and get away from this Audi and make it a nice, easy drive around the streets of Monaco. He's certainly done that. 1.3 seconds the gap to K-Mike, whose tyres are going to wear a lot quicker on that soft compounded tyre. Getting the pit stops right will be absolutely crucial. The interesting thing here is Mick Schumacher, P5 at this moment in time. He's got Danny Ricciardo in front of him. And then he's got Ocon and Magnussen obviously as well. Now Esteban Ocon, I believe, is on the medium compounded tyre as well. So these three, I reckon, will take over Kevin Magnussen. There is a chance, and a small chance, that I reckon Mick Schumacher might get a podium here today if he plays his cards right. But as we can see, Lando Norris now 1.4 seconds. That gap is only going to grow. I was tempted to start on lesser fuel. This is something I'm thinking of as well. Let me know down in the comments if it's something that you think we should possibly do. If you notice for the last couple, especially when Lando has been at the front, he's managed to conserve fuel really, really easily, and actually has been a little bit overweight towards the end. We've considered it today. We're not going to trial it here at Monaco, but there may be a time in the next couple of races where we do underfuel the car, because we do seem to be alright with the fuel consumption in this Ferrari this year. But the gap is now appearing. Lando to Magnussen 1.5, then the gap to Ocon 1.7, and then there's a gaggle of cars behind him in Ricciardo. Schumacher's involved in that as well, as we'll just ride on board with Mick Schumacher through Casino Square. Guan Yu Zhou in P6, Leclerc P7, Verstappen's in this train as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting when the pit stops happen as well. What we might do with Lando is let some other cars pit first. We don't want to pit Lando into traffic because that could possibly lose him the race. And then we'll get that right as well. But lap 4, Lando loving life in Monaco. So you join us then at P16. As you can just see, Lando Norris going through Casino Square. He's 6.5 seconds in front. He's having a lovely day driving on the streets of Monaco. It's a bit of a lonely race. He's just got to ensure that no complacency creeps in. Then we've got Kevin Magnussen 6.5 seconds back. And then Esteban Ocon, who is leading this gaggle of cars that contains Ricciardo, Schumacher, Zhou, Leclerc and Gasly and Verstappen. There's a big, big gaggle of cars that's been led by Esteban Ocon. If Mick Schumacher could get his centre into P2 here, in this little train, I reckon Mick Schumacher could really push. We are considering an undercut with Mick Schumacher if it's applicable. Lando Norris will be pitting a little bit later, I'd imagine, just conserving those tyres towards the end. Mick Schumacher, Lando Norris, but Mick Schumacher is in a decent position for good points again, and back-to-back good points could possibly save his drive for the second bit of this season. So lap 16, the top 10 as it was is Lando Norris, Magnussen, Ocon, Ricciardo, Schumacher, Zhou, Leclerc, Gasly, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz. Even down to P12 is in this train in Sergio Perez. Then there's a bit of a gap to Valtteri Bottas, and Alexander Albon must be starting to come under pressure at Audi because Kevin Magnussen is absolutely blitzing him. Lap 17. First car in the pit lane, lap 28 is Kevin Magnussen. It was Lando Norris' closest challenger He's come out down in P13, just behind Valtteri Bottas. We're having a keen look at this moment in time. We are getting towards Mick Schumacher's pit window. If we just have a look at the strategy, Mick Schumacher planning on coming in around lap 33, 34. What we're just looking at this moment, we expect around 20 seconds for a pit stop. 24 seconds he's behind, so we're looking at around 44 seconds. If we could get him out around in some clear air, which we possibly could do, I think it would be ideal if we could use the ERS and absolutely burn away and undercut these guys. That would be the plan. If we could undercut Ricciardo and Ocon by a couple of laps, I think we've got a chance of getting Mick and a 1-2 for Ferrari at Monaco. But we'll play that as it comes. At this moment in time, Lando Norris just complaining a little bit that the tyres are overheating. We'll keep a close eye on that. Guan Yu Zhou's pitting now, another one of the soft runners pitting at this moment in time. But this is going to be very, very interesting if we can get Mick Schumacher into P2. Right then, huge moments in this Grand Prix for Mick Schumacher. We reckon we've got a gap, a small gap at that, but we reckon we can get him out in clear air, and Danny Ricciardo's gone for it as well. Are we going to manage to jump one of these in the pit stops? We possibly could have gone a lap earlier. I thought they'd stop out one more lap. Mick Schumacher's held, he's held in the pits. He does get out in front of Leclerc. Ricciardo now is behind Schumacher, but it's Leclerc who's actually come out of that, the better of the three. And Leclerc is up into now well, it will be effective P3, I believe. But it's whether these guys now can really get the foot down and pressure the cars in front now. If they can get a decent undercut on such as Ocon, this could be a podium for Mick Schumacher, and I do fancy him to keep up with Charles Leclerc, and we're going to make sure that he's deploying and told to do so. We're going to give Lando Norris a couple of extra laps. He can take his time now on these tyres. We're just going to go light for a little, probably a couple more laps, just to ensure that we've got it covered off towards the end. But Mick Schumacher now, the pressure is all on him to keep up with Charles Leclerc. He needs to get back in that DRS, which I'm sure he's going to do. And if he can break the DRS of Danny Ricciardo while doing that, that would be absolutely ideal. Lap 34. And just after that, Verstappen and Ocon are both into the pits. Now let's see where Mick Schumacher and Charles Leclerc come out in relation to these guys. I think Verstappen and Ocon may have got the overcut on us here. Mick Schumacher and Leclerc coming down the pit straight. Ocon and Verstappen you can see in front. There goes the Red Bull and the Ferrari chasing each other down the straight. Verstappen has come out and he's in front of his teammate. Verstappen and Leclerc have managed to get in front of the Ferrari of Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher's got a bit of work to do now in front of these Red Bulls. Lando Norris, a couple of laps more. Riding on board with Lando Norris, lap 35, into the pit lane he comes, and to be honest with you, he's having such a lovely afternoon, it's ridiculous. He's probably picking out which yacht he fancies going on later on the parties. He's having a fantastic time, 2.4 seconds, good stop by the team, and Lando Norris, he got time in hand to leave it an extra couple of laps. The tyre wear's been pretty decent round here, but he's going to come out in nice clean air. And this should be him towards the end of the Grand Prix. He's got a bike marker that's just gone past him, which I'm sure will get out of the way. In fact, both of those guys, I think that's Tsunoda and Latifi battling for P19. So they'll get out of his way, no problems with that. Mick Schumacher just hanging on to the back of these two guys at this moment in time. Going to be interesting to see if we can get past these two. He's now down to P7. Vettel's still got to pit, so he's net P6. I think he can do this. It's just a case of getting close enough to those Red Bulls to make an overtake. Lap 36, gap from Norris to Magnussen is 13.5 seconds. Wow. Lap 39, Lando Norris, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:13.4. But what we're really interested in is this little thing that's happening in front of us, because we've got Sebastian Vettel is still not coming into the pits on those hard compound tyres. Now, is this going to present an opportunity for Mick Schumacher? We're going to tell him to use a little bit of ERS and see if he fancies a move down the inside of Charles Leclerc into Saint-Devote. Didn't quite manage to get it done. Will he get it done up to the run-up to Casino Square? Possibly not at this moment in time. To be fair to Mick, he's probably better just harvesting this ERS a little bit. And then once Vettel pits, we'll go again. But he's just going to charge that battery up a little bit now. because we're going to play the long game. It's going to be, again, as it was last time out in Spain, Mick Schumacher up against a Red Bull for a position at the end. Mick Schumacher must be sick of the sight of these Red Bulls. Meanwhile, Lando Norris 16 seconds gap to K-Mag. Sebastian Vettel is not doing his young prodigy any favours here at all, because what he's managed to do is back the whole pack up. And now, even Gasly in P10 is back in with a chance here. Sebastian Vettel, Verstappen's got past him, which could be absolutely crucial. But what needs to happen here is Mick Schumacher has got to get past him when Charles Leclerc does. That is absolutely crucial for Mick Schumacher's race, and we're going to ride on board with Mick Schumacher. But once again, he's having a look at Charles Leclerc. He's going to the inside here, can't quite get it done. But there's going to be a chance in this next couple of moments. I reckon there's going to be a chance for Mick to get this move done. And when he does, he can then attack. But Max Verstappen, again, is falling very nicely with a bit of luck this season so far. He keeps getting these little bits of luck, which are really, really helping him. And this is going to be very, very interesting here, because Vettel hasn't got DRS. Leclerc and Schumacher have. And Mick Schumacher got a terrible exit out of that last corner. Now, will Mick Schumacher be able to make a move? He certainly won't. Too far back there. Inside line again. He cannot get past the Red Bull and Haas at this moment in time. All he can do is sit behind him. All the while, Max Verstappen now is 2 seconds up the road. Absolutely ridiculous from Sebastian Vettel. He's literally a moving chicane at this moment in time. We're going to run this live because this could be the moment. Mick Schumacher has already got the line. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's got DRS. He's used his ERS to get past Charles Leclerc, and he gets past Sebastian Vettel. Beautiful work from Mick Schumacher. Absolutely fantastic work from Mick Schumacher. Gains a position, and now Sebastian Vettel will hopefully hold the car up behind. We're going to take another look at this, because it was fantastic work through the Marina. Set him up through Raskas onto the start-finish straight, using that ERS. Vettel got out of his way and then jumped back in the way of Charles Leclerc. I'm not saying there was any favours done there. Make your own minds up on that. But straight away now, Mick Schumacher looking to pull away from the Haas of Sebastian Vettel. Unfortunately, it means now Verstappen is quite a distance up the road, as you can see him there. But he could do with pulling away a little bit here, Mick Schumacher, and I'm sure he will do. It's already 7 tenths. If he can break the DRS of Vettel, in fact, he already has done. It's all about now how quickly Charles Leclerc can get past Sebastian Vettel, and for our sake, we are hoping not very quickly at all. Lap 44, great work from Mick Schumacher. Lap 50, he joined us once again, and Sebastian Vettel is still out on track and causing this absolute conga of Formula 1 cars around Monaco. It's absolutely ridiculous. We saw Fernando Alonso do it a few years ago in real life. We've had a car spin. Is this going to bring out a safety car? That is something we need to really take care of. We've got a crash on circuit. Schumacher P5 now. Very lonely race for him now at this moment in time. And it's Pierre Gasly, my friend Pierre. What has happened here? Let's have a little look at this. He's got the inside line into Sandoval, just overcooks it, and I'm amazed that hasn't brought out a safety car. If it had done, we could have swapped Lando Norris onto a fresh set of tyres. We'd have probably boxed Mick Schumacher in fairness as well. But it's really looking decent now, this, for Mick Schumacher. He's going to get P5. He's probably not going to get P4. I think there's too much of a gap there. But Lando Norris, P1, having a lovely time. I said that, sat behind some bike markers and sat behind the bike marker of Pierre Gasly. What on earth is going on here? Pierre Gasly is eroding Lando Norris' lead by the moment. This is absolutely ridiculous. We're getting no luck here at all, once again. And I cannot believe what I'm watching. This gap to Magnussen should be coming down by the second here. Let's have a look what happens here. As he's trying to get past Lando Norris. Get past him, my friend. Overtake, thank you. Right, that's cost us around 7 seconds, that. In fact, it's cost us more than that. It's cost us a hell of a lot more than that. It's cost us around 13 seconds, Pierre Gasly there. My word, let's have a look at where Pierre Gasly is now. He's still in the tunnel and slowing up. He's going to hold Magnussen up as well. It's not great. It's not great gameplay there at all. But Lando Norris still 11 seconds to Magnussen, but not ideal at all. This just brings Verstappen back into play once again. And it's also going to mean that it might help Mick Schumacher this though. That must be said. It may help Mick Schumacher catch up to these guys, so I might not be complaining too much. Lap 52. You've joined us back lap 56. What we have managed to do, he got the battery spare, Mick Schumacher, and he's now caught up to Guan Yu Zhou in the Lotus Renault. So Mick Schumacher now on the back of the Lotus Renault looking for P4. He's going to have to charge that battery up a little bit at some point, but at this moment in time doing a stonking job now. Caught up to P4. Questions raised about him, but he's delivering here in Monaco so far. Verstappen now in P3, looks comfortable for the podium. Magnussen, what a performance this is going to be from Kevin Magnussen, who could possibly get a second place at Monaco for the Audi Sport team. And Lando Norris currently 17 seconds in front of him. So a full rundown of the top 10. We've got Norris from Magnussen, Verstappen P3, Zhou P4, Schumacher 5th, Leclerc 6th, Ocon in P7 in the other Lotus Renault. We've got Danny Ricciardo in P8, Sainz P9, George Russell P10, and Sergio Perez is out of the points at this moment in time in P11. Lap 66, and we said Kevin Magnussen might get P2. It's looking a bit ominous now as Max Verstappen on fresher hard compound tyres is attacking the Viking in the Audi. Magnussen's defending well. I'm not convinced he can defend this for another 12 laps. Mick Schumacher's now just charging his battery up a little bit, sat behind Guan Yu Zhou, but we are going to be looking to make the move very, very shortly, lap 66. And on lap 70, probably the most disappointing sight of the day, Max Verstappen, as you can see, he's passed Kevin Magnussen, 8 laps to go. It's Norris from Verstappen. As long as Norris don't make any mistakes, he should be pretty calm here. We're just keeping an eye on him. We've not told him to be light on the tyres or anything like that. He's just taking his time and getting round. I've not even been on the radio. I don't want to say anything to him. Just carry on as you are. Mick Schumacher is just charging the battery once again. We had a little bit of an attack on Esteban Ocon. We couldn't quite get past him. On Guan Yu Zhou. We will be trying to do that once again in another couple of laps' time. Lap 71. So this is it, ladies and gents. Last lap as they race up towards Casino Square. Lando Norris has been conserving tyres, and it's all on now whether Mick Schumacher can overtake Guan Yu Zhou to get up to P4. Norris is miles in front of this battle. Is Mick Schumacher going to get a chance? That's all I believe he needs to get past the Chinese driver. Drivers won. Lando Norris has just won at Monaco. It's our first winners team principle at Monaco. Lando loving it. Brilliant racing from him, but we're going to stick with this and see if Mick Schumacher can make a move on Guan Yu Zhou. He's looking left and right. He just can't seem to get past him. We're going to go aggressive on the tyres, tell him to overtake. Anything we can possibly do. We'll ride on board with Mick Schumacher as he comes into Raskas. Can he manage to chuck one up the inside? It's great defending, to be fair, by the Chinese driver, unless he gets him down to the line, which I don't believe he's going to do. Zhou gets a better run out of that final corner, but he's going to do it. Mick Schumacher, he's going to do it, and Mick Schumacher gets P4 on the finish line at Monaco. What a performance from Mick Schumacher. Normal end of race procedures, but Mick Schumacher gets P4 on the line. Unbelievable work from the German, but the story of the day has got to be this man who's had a great drive round Monaco, and to be fair, this is all he's done all afternoon. Drive round on his own, taking the acclaim in that Ferrari win at Monaco.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. This podium is a true recognition of everyone who's been working so hard for this result.
What a sight to see. We have won at Monaco, and this is the one you want to win. Max Verstappen's been fantastic.
Drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
I mean, there's a few stories from today. Magnussen in P3 for the Audi. What a performance from him. He's enjoying it, as he rightly should. Max Verstappen, great drive from him to get back up to P2 after a difficult qualifying. But Lando Norris wins at Monaco. So it's P1 for him. Verstappen gaining 7 positions at Monaco. Ridiculous. Magnussen P3, Schumacher P4, Zhou P5, Leclerc P6, Ocon, Ricciardo 7 and 8, Sainz P9, and George Russell in P10. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris extends his lead over Charles Leclerc. It's now at 32 points. The gap to second place Charles Leclerc. Verstappen though coming back 85 points now after a second place here. Perez P4, Ricciardo P5, Magnussen up to P6, just jumping but level on points with Mick Schumacher because of the podiums, and Mick Schumacher in P7. Constructor standings wise, Red Bull 26 points, Ferrari we closed the gap. It's now just 4 points between us and Red Bull. It's now starting to look like a 2-horse race, and who would bet against us in the form we are in? I hope you've enjoyed that. Our first ever win at Monaco. It had to come at some point, and Lando Norris is the man to deliver. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!